Greetings, grace, peace, and blessings. So, I just wanted to do a video to warn any other people who might be stranded by the Jefferson bus or the Greyhound bus at bus depot. So, I just learned that bus drivers are not even supposed to tell you where you are. Like, it is all on the passenger's responsibility. If you've got a 30-hour bus ride, you stay awake because the bus driver is not going to tell you you're at this place because it is your job, according to Jefferson Bus Lines and Greyhound, that you're supposed to know exactly where you are at all times. Now, that's a form of discrimination because some of us don't have smartphones, some of us can't see, some of us can't process the whole navigating thing. And the precedent, the past 100 years we have had this service is the bus driver does tell you we are in New York City. Get off in Pennsylvania to connect to whatever. Like that's the precedence, and it's just incredibly shameful. It's criminal what bus drivers and the bus companies do now, where you're just given this grand fu, honestly. So, anyways, I was not told when the bus stop was where I was supposed to get off, and I was already totally sleep deprived by the time I got on the bus because it was a Sunday. My city bus wasn't running to get me to the Sunday Greyhound bus. So I had to take the city bus and arrive the night before and wait for my Greyhound bus. And that was my mistake. I should have checked that it was, that my departure, it should be, you need to travel between Monday and Friday and during the day because your city bus is probably not going to be running on Sunday, and customer service at Greyhound or Jefferson is not reliable, and of course your problems are going to happen when it's closed. So the bus is very cold inside. I don't know if it's like 50 degrees, 45 degrees when it's like 100 degrees outside. And I don't know why they do that. And then the bus depots are also extremely, very freezing cold. Well, I think the reason why they do it is to discourage people from being there because you see the bus workers look like they're dressed up for winter time and it's 100 degrees outside. And the sketchy homeless drug addicts that they let hang out there are just they're wearing hoodies and coats too. So it's just the passengers have to suffer in this freezing cold. Anyway, so bus drivers won't tell you when you're getting off, and so you end up being stranded and desperate to make your connection, and because buses only run once a day. So your 3 o'clock, when you've missed your 3 a.m. bus and you land in this other location, the next bus is going to be you're like 12 hours later. So you're waiting at a gas station in the middle of nowhere for 12 hours. So of course you make poor decisions. So this lady was like, I'm going to Oklahoma, and which was where my connection was. So I was like, can I get a ride with you? Because it was only a couple miles away or a couple hours away. And because she said, I live in Oklahoma, I'm going home. And I didn't realize this was a setup for a big con job. So instead, so she's driving, and I'm just trusting. And because there was another passenger who also was saying they needed to go to Oklahoma. And I wonder if they were working together. But anyway, she ends up going to Dallas. Okay. And it's like an hour or two in, and I realize we're going to Texas. And so she drops off this guy in Texas, and all the while she's promising me that she'll be able to make it to my connection in Missouri. And I don't, I'm new to the area, so I didn't realize the distances and whatnot. But so I was believing her, and then I realized she was setting me up. So because I was stranded, like she just had me stranded, in the middle of Texas. And then she was like, I'm running low on gas. And the thing is, she had assured me that she had everything together. But of course, she was making up new problems because she went to Dallas, 2 hours to Dallas. And then, she deliberately was making the gas go low. So because I was out of state, and it was the first time in years I've been out of state, so my bank put a freeze on my debit card. So I was going to pay her, but the thing is, had I paid her the amount she wanted, $50. Had I paid her that, she would have just dropped me there in wherever, in the middle of Oklahoma or something, or Texas. I don't know where. I can't remember where, because I was without sleep for like 40 hours straight. So, and then because I had a gift card and I only had $18 on the gift card, she looked so disgusted with me. And the thing is, like, this was her being a criminal, because she basically kidnapped me, held me hostage, and she was trying to, and that's what people do. So I am not rich. And so what these predators do is they target me because I'm a safe person, and I'm careful with my money. So I have $20 on me or something like that. And they know that I'm safe. So I'm in kind of like an easy target in some ways, especially if they're kind of smart and a woman. So, and this has happened to me before, where a woman will con me. She'll be like, I'm going in that direction, so I'll help you. And then she'll be like, "Oh, my gas is low. Can you give me some money?" And I'm like, "I only have $5." So I gave $5. I give her the money, and then she kicks me out of the car. She won't let me get the ride, even though she had said I'm going in the direction. And this happened to me again. So it's happened to me twice in my life. And I'm just letting you know, because then what happened next is, because I only had $18 and she needed more gas money, she was like, "I'll take you to the plasma center and you could donate blood for my gas." And she thought nothing of it. I mean, it's just diabolical. I filed a tip with the FBI. I tried calling the local police in that area where it started, and so in Texarkana, and they have you talk to a bot, and the bot isn't getting the details right, so it's like making mistakes as it's typing. So yeah, that's not, it's just difficult enough as it is. So this lady took me, like, she told me she was going to Arkansas. She took me to Dallas, and basically is like threatening to strand me, abandon me, unless she can extract, $100 out of me with my blood. And she was like, "The donation center is open on Sunday right now." Because my card wasn't working, I couldn't get to the post office and to cash in one of my money orders that I had from the post office that I could do, if it was open. And so she was gonna set me up. She was gonna try to extract my blood for her gas. And then she was like, "Well, you could just get a ride with a trucker." So she was like, she took me to Texas, to Dallas, and wherever, and basically was gonna kick me out to have the bus driver, or the truckers, you know, take take me to where I needed to go, when she had promised that she was going home. Like, I thought she was just going home, and then I could get a ride, a couple blocks away or whatever, to the Greyhound station to make my connection. So I just am doing this as like a public service announcement. So this person looked intelligent, you know, safe, sane, all right. And she tried to appear ditzy. And and the thing is, and the problem was, is if the bus company would actually have their drivers tell you, "This is your transfer point. If you need to get to Cedar Rapids, you need to get off here." And because I'm 56 years old, and I have taken buses all of my life. I've never learned how to drive, and that is how buses used to do it. They used to tell you, this is your transfer point. I never would even be wherever I've ever been had it not been for those buses telling me, this is the transfer point. You have reached this destination. But now they're changing it, and it's absolutely criminal, and it's an abomination, that the transportation, whoever is supposed to protect passengers on buses, it's just so evil that they're not saying, hey, your bus drivers have to announce the location, because there's no signs up, and not everybody has a smartphone, and this is a type of discrimination. This is a type of economic discrimination and disability discrimination, because not all of us are able to stay up for 30 hours. Not all of us have a smartphone, can afford a smartphone, can manage a smartphone. We are just here to get from point A to point B, and we should not be expected to be a robot in order to get to point A to point B. We paid you good money, Jefferson Airlines or Jefferson Bus Lines. So that is something I just want to warn you about, that people will sell your body for their gas money, and they will lure you in with something that seems reasonable. I'm going home. So yeah, I can give you a lift because you're stranded here for 10 hours because the bus company screwed up and is trying to put all the burden, all the responsibility on the customer. So now, according to Jefferson Bus Line and Greyhound Bus Line, the whole burden of you knowing anything, like getting off the bus, making your connections, the whole burden is on you. It's not on the driver. All the driver is, he's just this robot with the bus. And it's just so messed up. So, and just it's traumatizing. It's absolutely, it's terrible. So just be warned of these seemingly nice people that will claim they'll give you a ride and instead try to harvest your blood and leave you stranded thousands of miles away, and tell you God wanted this for you. That's the other thing. This lady kept on gaslighting me that this is, God's showing you something, blah, blah, blah. It's just so evil. And this lady, who her name was Anna, and she'd never ridden a bus before. So this woman, and she has children who live with their father. And I think because this lady is evil and criminal, that her kids don't live with her because of what she did to me. I mean, she probably does that to her kids. When her kids are old enough, she'll take them to get their blood so she can pay for her gas or her drugs, because she was constantly smoking dope the whole way. And and the thing is, she didn't look like, an addict or whatever, or maybe clearly my discernment was off because I was sleep deprived because the bus driver didn't tell me when to get off when I was supposed to. So just want to give you a heads up about that. Like, if you're taking the bus, you need to really be vigilant about everything. You can't rely on the bus, and maybe hitchhiking is better. I don't know at this point. So be careful out there. Don't accept rides. And there's these really expert con artists out there, very evil women out there. And I think women are actually worse than men. I'm really beginning to realize, I'm just remembering all of my life, just how women have messed with me. And men do jerky things too, plenty, but not the way women are. Women are really the big exploiters of other women. And the thing is, because you're interacting with a woman, you don't expect her to rape you, but they do it in this almost worse way. This humiliating. I mean, of course, it's always humiliating, but this betrayal, like there's a kind of betrayal when a woman sabotages survival and security, um, by betraying the sisterhood. So and she was like messing with the young guy who was riding with us, and you know he had some issues too, but like she had him light her cigarette, and I feel like there was something kind of sketchy about it. It's kind of essential kind of a thing for somebody else to light your cigarette, because to while she was driving, and so because she gave him the cigarette and the matches, and I feel like that's kind of an erosion of somebody's dignity, and the road to human trafficking, because he was a very attractive, intelligent, good-looking young man, and he desperately needed. I thought he was trying to go to Oklahoma, but I guess he ultimately was trying to get to Dallas. So that's what she just changed plans without informing me that she was going to like originally. I don't even know all what was going on, but maybe her plan to exploit me unfolded as we went. But I think it was from the beginning, because it was so sophisticated. It seems to me. And, she tried to pretend she was ditzy, but she's like this World Wrestling Federation journalist. Like she's up and coming, so she's very smart, very clear. So I think this was a calculated, cold-hearted exploitation of me, and it was very cruel. And if you're watching, Anna, like shame on you. Like I filed a complaint to the FBI, and I wrote reviews on the Texarkana gas station to watch out for people like you. Watch out for you, Anna, because you do not kidnap people, hold people hostage, to try to extract what little money these poor people have. I had like $5 to my name, and you kidnapped me, and you were going to dump me, abandon me just anywhere, after I gave you any money, and I gave you that $18 for your gas, and right away you dumped me, and fortunately I was like, I gotta get out of here, so it worked out. Um, but shame on you, Anna, and I hope the police find you, and you need to bear the consequences of this, because this was so wrong, and it was so sophisticated. You've been doing this before, because when I didn't want to give my blood, you seemed frustrated. You seemed convinced, because you have like an account with the plasma people, like you have an account. So you browbeat people into getting plasma, giving their blood for you to pay to buy whatever it is you want, your drugs, because you certainly don't spend it on your car. So I don't know what is going on, but people watch out. Like there's new unthinkable crimes being committed, but it's not a clear cut rape or murder. This is kind of a different, more psychological, like very high level psychopathic. Where this lady was, she took me out in the wild blue yonder, and held me over the barrel. And so I gave her everything I had, all of my money that I had, which wasn't much. And then she was like, "Give me your blood," basically, multiple times. She was like, "I can take you so you can pay for my gas." Like, how disgusting. That is like one of the most disgusting offers I have ever been asked or told. Unthinkable. But this is the day and age we are. This is Texas, Oklahoma people mindset, I guess. Um, yeah. So, anyways, I just wanted to warn people, and when you miss your bus because the driver doesn't tell you, don't freak out. Don't take a ride with somebody who's happening to get to your next connection because they are going to kidnap you. And fortunately, I wasn't bound hand and foot. I wasn't left in a ditch. Like I I I put that knowledge in a separate space and I just tried acting like this was a safe situation. And just so I could get to my destination. And eventually I did manage to make it to the Greyhound station where a whole other saga developed. But yeah, don't accept rides from people. Uh, I don't know if it's Texarkana. I don't know if it's Oklahoma. But I've gotten a lot of rides with people. I've hitchhiked a lot. I've done rideshare where, I help pay for the ride up front, and it works out. But this was and the thing is this lady was just going home like that, and then she'd go and I thought she was going to Oklahoma, she goes to Texas, and then she has to get back. So it was just you just can't trust people now, and it's sad to say because I do think it's really good to trust people. I think it's really good to interact with strangers, but this was just very mercenary, and maybe it's a one-time thing, but had I the chance to do it all over again, I would have just waited at Texarkana for the next 12 hours, 15 hours for my next bus. And then I would have made it to my original destination because I cut my trip short because this was just like I'd just been kidnapped and extorted, like, you know. So, yeah, it's really sad, but there we are. Anyways, thanks for watching. God bless.